everyone. What I want to cover today is how to make the most of your lines when you're on the ice. So getting that finish, getting everything to look more powerful, more beautiful, more strong, and be in more control. Okay, and also by having that, you're going to find that you're able to control your edges and get your technique a lot better. I'm going to try to keep this quite quick. So, there are previous videos that cover kind of the fundamental lines that you find in skating, but to very quickly recap, and we can have something to hold on to here. Okay, we have our turns line, okay, where it's like a coupe in ballet. We just tuck one foot behind the other. This might reflect, say, a mohawk, where it comes in, or a 3-turn. It's like open T position with a strong turn out through the hip. Okay, we have our extended line for our forward skating or a landing position, which again is turned out. And we use the same turnout in virtually all of our lines, so we use 45 degrees. So if this is my supporting foot, and directly behind is 0, and 90 is directly to the side, we're going along the halfway point, the diagonal, whether we're in our turns line, our extension, or our cross line for like crossovers, apart from it's going to the opposite side, but it's still at 45. Okay, now when we go for our backwards push, it's more directly in front, but we turn our toe out to reflect that quarter. And when we step wide onto like a lunge for a back crossover, the 45 degrees is still there. So there's 0, there's 0, there's 90, it's just in front, and then the 45 is down that diagonal. So those are our basic 5 lines. When I think of reaching for a line, I want that line to fill as much space as I can possibly make it. I want to hit the furthest point of my achievable extension and push beyond that. So I think of someone taking my blade, so they've grabbed onto the bottom of my boot, and they're pulling that blade away from my body. Okay, my body is centered over my supporting foot. Okay, so I'm nice and strong, no matter where I am. So I can essentially move through these positions. It's a little bit moving away from my ankles here, but I can move through these positions as stably as possible with as little upper body movement as possible. My ribs are in, my hips are under, strong core, a long back, and pulling up to my head. So as I bend, and there's knee bend pretty much before every step, there's very few things in skating that are done on a straight leg. Generally we re-bend before every push. So as I bend, it's like a plie in ballet, where you bend and your knees go down, but the body is drawing through and up. So that's the same when we bend before I push away. I've just got a bit of safer in the way. Bend, knee goes down, body pulls up, so that I've got an open line here. Okay, same as I step out, bend, my knee is going down, but my body's pulling up and open. My arms are reaching to fill as much space as I possibly can, right through to the end of the fingers. I like to think of it as showing off. Imagine if you've just had your nails done, or you've got a beautiful ring on, and you want to show that off. Reach that away, take it as far away. Or, the other way, imagine that there's a £100 note, and you're reaching for it. It's just out of reach. So you've got long, strong arm position. You don't want to be rigid and flat. It can still be, it should be extended. I tend to tuck my thumb in so I get ballet fingers. Drop middle finger, thumb tucked under. Okay, there's a softness, and I float out into it. So it reaches that long straight line, but I'm not going to go to get there. Okay, I reach out, I unfold. It's like in ballet with the leg positions, they talk of a développé. So where they develop the leg line. We develop that, we unfold and develop out. And particularly with the arms, I really like that look because it looks much more elegant, much more graceful. Okay, and with the legs as they'll develop and lengthen and keep lengthening away. Imagine it being pulled back as the body pulls up. You have to engage your quads, okay, and your glutes. We lift the legs using the glute muscles, okay? So our bum is working to lift the leg up. You can practice just doing some leg lifts at the front, a little bit like grand battement, a controlled grand battement, okay, or a jeté. And you can think of it lifting and the core remaining very strong. You should be able to do that without the support of the chair there. Glutes engaged, quads engaged, calves are engaged. If your calves are weak, do some calf raises. So little risers, so just up and down, lengthening, holding, squeezing in, keeping the core. That will help to strengthen your calves. As skaters, we're not often taking our weight through our calves. We're not standing on a straight leg in the way they do in ballet, but we do have a straight leg extended for our extension, wherever that might be. Okay, and that does, as you can see, create the calf muscle. My turnout is there as well, you can notice. So my quad, my shin, the front of my foot all in line, continuing wherever that extension may be. It's all matching. There's no sickling, so you don't get this at the end with the foot turned in or the foot turned towards the floor. That doesn't look good. We rotate out, roll the hips, and follow, so everything matches the line. Things you can do if you're a little bit tight in the hip: sit down, some froggies, stretches, the stretch in your tummy, where you bring them together, pushing down to gently increase your turnout. Okay, straddles, anything, straddling positions, keeping everything in line, quads, shins, push forward. They will all reach down, if you can, gently, always when you're warmed up. They will help you to strengthen, to stretch there and to get an improved turnout. Rondageons, so which are a ballet move, so I can do it at the bar. You just go forward to the side, round, drawing a circle, maintaining the weight over the supporting foot so that this leg is free. And you can do it in reverse, keeping the core still, so we're not getting all this going on, but it's just balanced and still, so you can start to open up. And some open the gate, again with the core still, so you can open up your turnout. I'll just show you that from the back. The other foot. Keeping it as little movement in the body as possible. Again, opening the gate, staying centred. You want to get pointed toes at the end of your line. It is possible in the boot. I know they're hard, but we don't have to be on a flex foot. We can extend. You need to build up your flexibility in your ankles. So do some ankle rolls. Do some foot articulations. So from the heel, roll through to the toe, rock and roll it. You can even reach out forward at the front. So stretch over the front of your arches. Articulating the foot, it's one bone at a time. Well, it's feeling like the bones working independently. You can also go up to a wall and put your foot, I can't really show you here, but I'll do it on here. You put the foot up against the wall to stretch out there. It's going to stretch your calves, but it's also going to help you stretch out your Achilles. Stretch out the calves. Reach into the wall. And you can do some good toes, good toes and naughty toes. So just flexing and pointing, flexing and pointing on the floor. Really focusing on your arches, and you can reach down to like a forward fold. And you're going to get a nice hamstring stretch as well, which is going to help you reach those better lines. Leaning forward. Try not to cave in, so extend that back. Other ones you can do on your leg, or in your back, pulling your leg towards your head. I'm really sorry, I'm making loads of mistakes with what I'm trying to say today. Pulling it in, keeping the back long, stretching out there for some better movement. And then obviously actually spend time going through your lines both independently, just bending and rising, keeping control through each of the individual lines. Pelvis nice and strong and still. Reaching through, head up, give yourself a neck to the front, strong, and then out to the side. As you transfer the weight, keeping the body strong, over the open up your shoulders, reach up and over. You can even use a strap to take it behind, which you gradually shorten. Straight arms over the back, get out there. When we think about where our arms should be on the ice, obviously it does depend on what in particular you're doing. I'll keep shortening this. That's about my limit. Obviously it does depend what we're actually doing. But if we're just in a basic forward skating position, I like to think of 10 to 2 on the clock face. So we have 12 o'clock, 5 to 1, 10 to 2. I have a curved clavicle. Okay, so I don't want to be hyperextended there. There is a natural fluid motion. It's a little bit like going out to second in ballet. Okay, I can just see my fingers in my peripheral vision. I don't want them to be so far out to the side that I look forced. And 10 to 2. That's a little bit more if you've got quite an open posture. Okay. But never directly to the side or beyond them, unless it's one arm from one arm to the side, which might be like turned into the circle, where I think of hugging the circle, and I've got a leading arm. But again, that actual angle between the arms is pretty consistent. So we start at the 10 to 2. I'm trying to work out mathematically what angle that is. It's a little bit more than, it's slightly less. Okay. It's a little bit more than 90. It's not 180. It's somewhere in between. I don't know, maybe 120. And that pretty much doesn't change. So when I hug into my circle there, that's fairly open. I'm never going to be at that 180 point. It's too much. Okay, it's always got that nice gentle curve, and you can move through that. You might change and switch arms, but you'll re-find in that same extension, and that's going to improve your line, because this looks, again, forced, and it also creates that arch in the back, so the ribs flare. So again, that line's not controlled and over your centre. So those once we finish the last thing. And then practice flowing through your lines. So now we've worked out how to change the arms. Okay, you can practice moving from line to line, reaching away, getting that arch in your foot there, keeping the body pulling up as your knee bends down, lengthening, extending, squeezing, quads, squeezing glutes, lengthening your calf, because you do need to flow between them. So I hope that's been semi-useful, and there's things there you can work with. It is a combination of strength and stretch and just repetition. There is no cheat for just doing it over and over. So that is it for today. Alright everyone, stay safe. Bye bye.